Test one, two. Test one, two. And I really, really hope that I am not going to cough. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear the background noise? I figured that it'd be very, very fitting for, with the Arctic winds coming in. The Arctic winds have been pretty brutal as of late, but thankfully it hasn't been causing too much frost on my truck, which I'm like really, really surprised with like how this winter season has turned out for like defrosting my vehicle every time. It's been very, very dry, which probably explains like why my eczema hasn't been kicking in. Now, Mini-Me, you talking about those waffles, I am so, so jealous. They sound like waffles that I'd be so willing to try. Something tells me that they could be found in this one boba shop I haven't been to in a while. And oh, the audio's good? Okay, awesome! I'm really glad. Well, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, like, some funny things, like, were going on with OBS ever since I installed Windows 11 on my PC. I was running through BIOS, like, turning something on that should have been on to make things process a whole lot faster, and my PC has been like booting up a whole lot quicker, like even quicker than like on like a most advanced PC I've had besides this one, where the load time wouldn't be too bad, like a minute, but it only took like 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds to boot up. That's insane. Like, technology is just getting better and better, but I still need to get a new PC. And I'm really looking forward to when I'm able to get a new PC, as I was running through some parts and, with like how Marvel Rivals has been treating me, that I really do need to get a new PC. But I don't want to go pre-built, even though pre-built PCs nowadays are far, far better than how they were in the past. But mine is 4 years old, and it was only 2 years ago that pre-built PCs have actually gotten a whole lot better. So I should not even attempt to swap out some parts to try to make things work. Oh, sorry Steve, hang on. Let me just get this popped up real quick. And let me go ahead and boot up, mix it up. My model does this every time. This is normal. Every time a habitat is first redeemed. After the first one, it stops freezing my model. I forgot to mix it up, but I got you. There are videos on YouTube to make it. Yeah, that's what this... Oh, yeah, definitely allow. You install Windows 11, and now you gotta re-enable some permissions, and OBS doesn't... interesting thing about OBS right now, it seems that no matter how hard I tried... Oh, I need to turn off that, timer, actually. I forgot to do that. I knew there was something I was forgetting to do. And it was that. Yeah, that redeem is turned off, so we are not going to have loud, obscene noises to interfere. And I'm going to go ahead and turn a timer off so that everyone knows. You're not going to scare me in this stream. The only scares I'll get is if I scare myself into having a coughing fit, and... Good boy, Steve. You're such a good boy. I'm so glad to have you here with me. To make my day after a hard day's work, come cuddle with me during the Arctic winds that come through. And for some, it is a scary time with what the US is going through, but you're such a good boy. Hi, Fauna. Welcome to the stream. Hi, welcome, welcome. It's been quite some time since I've last seen you, Fauna. I am so happy to have you here. And here I am, back at it with ASMR. You have no idea how good it is to get back into ASMR. I really, really miss this. And I remember when I was supposed to get some more props for ASMR because I was going to be a trigger ASMR artist, but I would like to try some reading, and I was doing research and I asked my manager to help make sure that I select some good reads that are public domain. a bunch of classic books are public domain, like what's found in the archives.net, I believe it's called. Archive.org, excuse me. Yeah, whatever books are there are should be public domain. I asked my manager just to make sure whatever is on archive.org is public domain, and yes, she said, public domain. You're welcome, Steve. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah. I mean, I started taking my one inhaler with steroids in him, like, as some medication would for where you to get a prescription for them. So that way I am able to breathe a whole lot better. I'm not huffing and puffing. Like, when I was doing my singing lessons, I was not at the best capacity lung-wise, but I got through the main point of the lesson to go over with my singing coach, especially to understand like how complex some songs can be, because for my second cover song, I chose a really complex song. That's at really, really high difficulty to accomplish. Like, really high. I'm in the UK, so I think it's a time issue because it's... Oh, so it must be like past midnight for you then? I don't read off of military time, but I'm going to assume that's midnight for what someone like me in the US would say. Oh my god, my hands are starting to like really feel in. I say I don't get much eczema anymore from the cold, but when it does kick in, it sucks. But I do have my lotion, so I should be set. Ah, it is. Oh, good, good. And guys, I do have my water right here, so I should be set. We're not going to start reading just yet, not until an hour passes along, and, you know, we could have a nice chat right here and just talk about what's going on. Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you. I needed that. But so far, I don't feel too much of an itch for coughing because my voice is speaking at a much softer tone. Oh, I just remembered. Guys, for when I talked about how I have a throne, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get this pinned. I forgot to get this pinned, just so that way I could spread the word about it. So, I got an email notification saying that one of you guys has suggested a gift for me. Well, I can't wait to see what... My brushies. Sorry about that, I don't have that much room on my PC set up. I really need to get a bigger desk. I tried looking for a bigger desk on Throne, but none matches what I need, which sucks. I haven't been very well either. I'm waiting to get bloods. Oh, are you getting some blood tests run? Good luck with that, Fauna. The song I put kind of reminded me of you and your voice in the MV as a Butler. Ah, I still haven't saw that video. I keep forgetting. And I also keep forgetting to add a music channel. I forget a lot of things. Like, sometimes I do need a little bit of extra help. Sometimes I wish that as soon as something is like discussed on stream that's a totally good idea and I need to do it but I'm not doing it, that others can just poof, do it for me and have my back. Ugh. Oh my god, you... Oh, I didn't realize that they were already set up on Streamlabs. Oh, that's great. You bought me tea? Oh, you bought me tea! Yeah, Mini-Me, I am so sorry. I keep forgetting. Like, I would need constant reminders, constant. Whenever it is a work day, I have a hard time remembering things, so I'm gonna make the habit for where every time it's not a work day, then I am just gonna do whatever it is I need to do, because every time I come home from my job, I just enter relax mode. I get hungry because after working 10 hours each day, I really, really need to eat something and I just need to sit down. Then the next thing you know, I prepare for stream or whatever plan I got in mind. Like, sometimes on Fridays I do hang out with my friends just to be with them. But it's not every Friday that happens. I mean, I'm just trying to get to the kinks, you know, work out the kinks for like how it is for like having offline collabs with other people. The doctor says I might be anemic. Oh no. And it took so much blood I started to go dizzy. I've still got a mark. Oh no. That really, really sucks. I'm so sorry for you. Oh no. Please, please get better, Fauna. I hope you do. Eat plenty of cookies, drink plenty of orange juice, or I really hope that works for someone that's anemic. Or what about honey? Like, honey has natural energies in them. I put honey in my tea almost every morning, especially when it comes to chai. Chai and honey mix so incredibly well. I highly recommend it. And Steve, I cannot wait until I start trying out that tea that you just bought me. I am so excited to try that out. Even if it's not hot tea, I'm gonna try it. I could have it like on a non-work day, just to chillax at home. Maybe like I could bundle up to make up for not having a hot drink with me while I watch Winter Soldier and Falcon, you know, before Thunderbolts and the upcoming Captain America movie come out. The new Captain America movie should come out next month. Thunderbolts, I think, is April or May, but don't quote me on that one. And there might be another Marvel movie coming out this year, but I can't remember. I know it's not Avengers Doomsday. I don't think it's Fantastic Four. Was there supposed to be another Doctor Strange movie coming out? I gotta go look. You know what? I'm gonna look that up, actually. Hopefully you enjoy the tea when it does arrive. Yeah, and I made sure to have my address completely updated. I mean, it should, because the last gift I received was directed to my current apartment, so I should be good to go. It's mostly eating red meats and green vegetables because it's an iron thing. Ah. Oh, yeah. Like that. Oh, no. Sorry about that. I still got a ways to go to get over my coughs. Wow. I thought I was doing good, but wow. Yeah, if only I had that what you're giving me, Fauna. If only. Oh, thank you, Mini-Me. I really, really hope that I'm able to practice well for singing. Strange, like, I should be getting better. Like, I should have already been getting better as I've done with a lot of sicknesses that I've been through. This is a first for me for where I've been sick for over a week. I mean, again, I have gotten a whole lot better for where my coughs used to be a whole lot worse, but wow. Ugh. Forgive me for that. I was kind of worried if I wasn't able to do... Oh. There, you bought me more tea. More tea for me to get over my coughs. Yeah, for every cough, I request a tea bag, please. Thank you, Steve. I really do appreciate it. Oh my god. Wait, do I have it set up for where I tweet out throne gifts that get bought out to me? I really hope so. Oh, yeah, I also do have my HelloFresh sponsorship, so for those that would be new to HelloFresh, feel free to use that code. Yeah, you're right. And I did have tea earlier, but tea can only do so much at a time. Now, I really want to see if I enabled it on Throne to... Okay, no, it doesn't seem like it. But I should totally turn those notifications on. I totally should. Is your username a reference to the song? Okay, I think I know what song you may be talking about, Fauna. Is it like a rock song from the 2000s, or am I not thinking of the right song? I want to say it's a 2000s rock emo song. Lit? Ah, oh, shit, Lit. Have I ever listened to any songs by Lit? I can't say that rings a bell. Lit, huh? Well, Fauna, if you are part of the Discord server, feel free to put it in suggestions as, you know, I should really start a music channel. I really, really should. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I just gotta do these things on my off days. When I don't work. And be a busy bee. That's what I gotta do. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Gotcha. Now, I did see earlier in chat that the Fantastic Four movie is gonna come out on the 25th of July. That's 5 days after my birthday. Oh my god. 5 days. 5 days after my birthday. Wow. Now, with how close the Fantastic Four is, something tells me that there has gotta be a trailer for Fantastic Four. Let me look this up real quick. Fantastic Four trailer, come on. Something's already gotta be out. Theatrical trailer. 3 weeks ago, 10 days ago. Is this legit? Because I am seeing the first video with 4 different outfits of Reed Richards. What the hell is this? That can't be true, right? My birthday's on the 13th of July. Wow, that is so close to mine. Wow. My birthday's very far away. Oh, gotcha. The last Fantastic Four movie was back in 2015, and wow, that movie did not turn out that well. It really, really didn't. As they really, really didn't do it justice. Okay, I want to say this is legit. No way. No, that's gotta be fake. That's gotta be fake. That's gotta be fake. Yeah, that's fake. I really want to believe that this has to be real. Has TikTok been banned in America? I heard it has. Actually, it recently was brought back. It was only banned for like a few hours, and then it actually came back, believe it or not. I know. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. Like, it's back. It's there. Hi, Carnage. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How are you doing today? I'm just trying to see if a trailer for Fantastic Four has came out yet, and I'm trying to find that out right now. But it really, really doesn't seem like it. You know, you would expect, like, with how far we are into this year, it's supposed to come out, like, this year in July, according to somebody in chat. And I can tell that they are all fake and that AI has been used to make these trailers, so... Wait, what? They're saying there's a leak? Wait, what? New Galactus leaked scene in Fantastic Four First Steps. What, is this true? So, it's literally a phone screenshot of somebody. Huh. You know what? I think if I know, I'll know. I'm not gonna try to, like, look anymore. And, of course, a YouTube short popped up of Sue Reed's ass, of course. Like, Sue Reed has been having her ass just pop up constantly in certain socials. Like, a bunch of people are so thirsty for Invisible Woman, I swear. I've never downloaded it. Oh, I see. Well, I have it because I need to expand my reach in socials. And so far, one of my latest videos on TikTok has, it's getting there to 5,000 views, and it's been doing so for, like, the past few days now. And I was below 50 followers on TikTok, but day 1 surpassed 50, day 2 surpassed 100, day 3 I surpassed 150. I find that so incredibly insane. Oh, I did. Okay, now I'm just noticing these redeems. My apologies. I got distracted trying to find out where I can find a trailer for Fantastic Four, but in conclusion, it doesn't exist.
You're such a good girl for me, Fauna. It's really nice having you chat here with me, and apologies for the coughing fit that I was throwing, but I'm glad you stuck by my side despite the interruption, so you're such a good girl. And Carnage, you too. You came in at a wonderful stream, and I'm so glad to have you here. In my first ASMR stream in a while, you're such a good boy.
It's alright, man. Yeah, gotcha. There's a trailer. Yeah, I want to look up the entire timeline of the Marvel movies. I'm gonna go ahead and try to look that up. Timeline of Marvel movies release schedule. I want to stay up to date. I want to. Upcoming Marvel movies and TV MCU release date. Okay, where's the poster? Where's the poster? Okay, it seems that... Alright then, I think I need to go look through images then. I'll do an image search. No, that was the one before. Where is the one? What phase is it called? Okay, it's not phase 5. Is it phase 6? Oh wait, no, we are still in phase 5. Oh, the Daredevil? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. There was Echo's Rival and Blade? Wait, I don't recall Blade. Blade was released back in November, or did it get pushed back? Ironheart? Wait, the Daredevil? Captain America New World Order? Wait, I think the schedule's out of date. Wait, I think... Wait a minute, what's the updated schedule? No, wait, wasn't there just supposed to be a whole new show over... No, wait a minute. Yeah, Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, Daredevil Born Again. Ah. Okay, so it was something planned out way ahead of time, so... There was Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, and then what was supposed to come was Blade, Ironheart, Agatha. I've seen Agatha, and it's really good. Daredevil Born Again. Actually, that might be out now. I think they just released that. I think it is out now. Then there's Captain America New World Order, Thunderbolts, but yeah, okay. I am not getting anything straight from my search results by looking broadly. Yeah. Okay, Carnage, I take it that you really like the Good Boy Redeem? Well, I'm glad. I'm really, really glad. Okay, so... I don't think I'm getting any straight answers. I don't think I am. Because Captain America New World Order is coming out ahead of schedule, so There must be an updated schedule somewhere. And I want to know where. There's Phase 5 and Phase 6, so... Wait, there's supposed to be like 2 different Avengers movies? Okay. Yeah, Fantastic Four movie was supposed to come out November 8th, but it didn't, so yeah. The Marvel Studios, like, Phase 5 and 6 schedule is out of date. Okay, that makes sense. Updated MCU timeline? Wait, what is this? Oh, wait, no. Oh, thank you so much for redeeming that. I am weak to compliments, praise. Me too. I have a praise kink, and Serena knows it very, very well. And you know what? I'm gonna give a shout out to Serena because, oh my god, Serena enables my bottom energy, I swear to god. She is such a great friend to have, and why am I getting angry? There we go. I'm not angry at Serena, why would I? Honestly, I am so glad for her existence. I am so glad to be alive in a day that she exists. Serena okay. I spelled it right, I just need to get the caps right. There we go. Please go follow my friend Serena. She also does ASMR for bedtime story reading, and she has a very, very loving voice. Oh, she so does. That's right, Serena always knows. Always. She knows I'm a bottom. She knows it very well. Serena does it on Spanish on me, and I get weak. You know, what's strange is that I never heard her speak Spanish yet. Like, I haven't encountered a stream where she spoke Spanish. For some reason, I just never have. I know Puerto Rican, right? Wait, is Serena Puerto Rican? I'm trying to remember if she's Puerto Rican or... Yeah, never. Crazy enough. Okay, Steve?
Love. 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 Love.
Oh, I'm using these the next time I see you in chat, okay? Ah, Puerto Rican. Okay, yeah, I was trying to remember her Twitter bio for what it says. You can ask her nicely and she'll definitely do it. Yeah, I bet. Next collab I'm in with her be like, you know, Serena, I never heard you speak Spanish before. And there's been a few people that say that I should hear you speak Spanish. Can you speak some for me? Like, what should I ask her to say to me in Spanish? Like something random? Doesn't that kind of seem out of the ordinary? Or, I don't know. What would I want her to say to me in Spanish? Should I ask her to say, Mint, you are such a cute bottom in Spanish? Okay, actually, yeah, that would be... That'd be so wild if I asked her to do that for me. Tell her to compliment you. She translates after. Oh. Oh my god, Carnage. You are such a dork. Of course you would. Of course you... Oh my god, you are a dork. And I did see that one post by her on her spicy account on Twitter with that picture. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. Nice. Nice. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, Carnage, I bet you did bark. Yeah, Serena made people let the dog out within themselves. And I'm totally not just gonna look that up and, you know, just respectfully gaze. I'm totally not looking it up again right now. I don't know what anyone is talking about. Oh my god. She looks so great in that outfit. Honestly, I love fishnets. And seeing those fishnets combined with the boots, oh my god, that is such a great combo. And I was about to ask if that's her actual hair, or if that's a wig, but I recall Serena saying that she has green dyed hair, right? I'm pretty sure her hair is supposed to be dyed green. I want to say that's a wig, but regardless, she looks so good in it. I put a comment that says, whistles, oh my, I love what I see. I could have put in something like completely gooberish, like I did the one time over her spicy artwork for where I was like, doing, with a few additional words to it, and she's like, Minty, I love you, oh my god. Okay, so that is a wig. So, I did recall correctly that she does have dyed hair. I thought she did. So, was she, like, cosplaying as somebody in particular? She said in her tweet that it was a promise to wear all that. I want to say she's cosplaying as somebody, or is that just a sexy outfit to have on? I mean, it really is sexy. It is. But I want to say I want to know what she was cosplaying as. I was about to guess that one character from Overwatch, but I know that the character from like Overwatch that I'm thinking about doesn't resemble her. If I were to pick one character, that's the first one that comes to mind. But that character from Overwatch has white hair. Gotcha, Carnage, gotcha. I don't blame you if you don't know. You know what? I actually want to take a look at what the gift suggestion was over on Throne. You know what? I'm gonna actually take a quick look at that. So, what has someone oh so graciously suggested to me on Throne? Oh, excuse me. I'm really curious to know. What is it? New gift suggestion. What is it? I swear, if it's something lewd, I'm gonna laugh. Yep. Oh yeah, it's those. Mini-me. Mini-me, I'm going to approve it. I'm going to approve it. I am going to approve it. Yes, I am going to approve it. I'm gonna put in the gift description, Mini-me, you rascal, I love this suggestion and would make a video over this. I actually would. I legitimately would. Yeah, would. Yeah, would. I so would. Yep, it says accepted. Wait, what's outstanding gift suggestions for Van? Oh, right, I'm already here. Let me make sure it got on my wish list. Yep. So, like, are you actually going to buy this for me? Are you actually going to do it, Mini-me? I mean, it's $9.99. It's very, very cheap. I mean, if you want to buy it for me, go ahead. Like, I actually will use those. Like, it could be a perfect excuse for me to learn how to bake at home. Or at least attempt with something. Like, I actually would. Crazy enough. Okay, Carnage, have a good lurk. Okay, I'm back. I went for a soda. Oh, okay. One second. Oh, I forgot to change my tags. It's not a yandere game anymore. I just realized that yandere game was part of my tags. I really, really hope these coughs don't get to me. I really, really hope not. Wait, screaming likely? No, get rid of that. I forgot to update my tag specifically for ASMR. I forgot to do that. Yeah, it was for me side, and I'm almost done with me side. I'm getting close to the end. Okay, Steve, have a good one. I hope to see you back soon, or if not, then I hope you take care for... I'll mute myself. I'm actually gonna go get a cough drop real quick, so I will be right back, okay? Alright, I am back. I also took the chance to blow my nose. I got my cough drop. Hi, Ignacio. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. If you have any Tessalon, Perils, Benzonatate, you might want to take some. I don't have any of those. What are they? I may have heard of Tessalon, or... Wait, what is that? Thank you, Mini-Me. Appreciate being back here. My god. Ugh. Oh, good. I was just about to make sure if Coffee Run, like the background music I usually have, was turned off, and I'm glad it is. A cough suppressant? Oh, do I have to have them prescribed to me? Or can I just buy them at the store? Forgive me if you can hear the cough drop in my mouth as I sometimes swirl it around in my mouth. Like, I don't know why I can't just let it have it sit in my mouth like a normal person. I just, like, mess with it internally. You do need a script unless you're in Mexico or South America. Damn. I'm North American. I live in the United States of America, unfortunately. And I really, really hope to God that this country is just gonna be doable. Ah, my God. I personally can't agree with some things that man says, and I hope I survive in my country. I really, really do. Also, fuck the fact the federal government says there's only 2 genders that exist. No. I acknowledge my friend Serena's gender fluidity. I acknowledge my best friend Snowy, that goes by she, her, they. And I also acknowledge my friend Moth, that is non-binary, and goes by they, them. So fuck what the government thinks. The government is just a piece of shit right now. I have my passport in case I need to flee to Cascadia. Cascadia? Where's that? And it seems to be official that the Gulf of Mexico got... It got renamed to Gulf of America. Like, why? I refuse to call it Gulf of America. I'd rather call it Gulf of Mexico. Because I'm pretty sure Mexico still calls it Gulf of Mexico. I'd only call it Gulf of America if Mexico were to agree to it for some reason. No such thing as freedom in this. Yeah. Cascadia would be, or WA. Oh, Oregon, Wisconsin, California, and the other blue states? Gotcha. Unfortunately, I live in a pretty red state, although with the two major cities that... There are a few... Yeah, there are a few cities that are actually pretty blue. Even though the rest of the state is pretty damn red, but when you get to, like, the cities, yeah, they're pretty blue. And fun fact, like, it was a surprise that my state actually rooted for Harris, which I thought it was going to be, like, just full-out red, but no. The state vote went to Harris. Amelia Harris, like, I was, like, surprised. Like, that doesn't usually happen unless it's a blue moon. Like, wow. Oh, Washington. Mint, I need to send you something. What do you mean you need to send me something? What do you mean? Like, in Discord DMs for me to read later on, or what do you mean? Your state read upon tariffs. Oh, a meme? Okay. Alright. Shoot. A meme. Okay. So, what do you mean my state read up on tariffs? Oh! Oh, okay. I just confoggled the words in my brain wildly. Okay, yeah. Still, the tariffs, just why? Like, some of the products that I'm distributing on behalf of the company as a merchandiser, they're a bit more expensive now, which must mean that there are some imported goods that make up for some of the ingredients to make the merchandise that I distribute. It's crazy. I mean, the sales are still, you know, kicking out pretty strong because I'm able to get my 10 hours for each work day, and I work 4 days per week. I'm so glad I get to work 4 days per week. Honestly, like, 5 days per week with the constant 10 hours or so shifts has been brutal to me. Hi, Minty! Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How are you? Alright, Carnage. I'm gonna view this meme you sent me. Ah, Fauna, you joined the Discord server. Thank you. And I'm glad that the role distributor, the bot, actually works this time, so that way people that read the rules and select the role will actually get in. But hi, Mint. How are you? I'm working 7 until we can hire some... Oh, no. Good luck, Ignacio. I hope you pull through. Was it when I went AFK? Was it when I went AFK? Was this when I went AFK to go get my cough drop? Was it that exact moment? What? I like this meme. Can I, like, post it on my socials, please? Can I do it? Your model looked like that? The way he's just smiling like an idiot. Just looking at this particular screenshot. Thank you, Carnage. I'm so glad to have your blessing. Now, I do make my own memes to post on my socials. Like, I got some pretty good attention for, like, my meme I posted for where it says the lore I gained last year was insane. And yeah, I get my inspiration from cat memes. That's literally what I look up to get inspiration for my memes. Now, was there another meme I posted? Okay, maybe not. So yeah, it says the lore I gained in 2024 is actually insane. Man, look at those likes. It's got a lot of views too. Wow, people really like that meme. People do. Oh my god. Like, it's just a meme, even though it shouldn't be too much effort to put in, but I'm just happy to provide. I'm happy. I'm happy I did well with what editing skills I have with GIMP. Thank you. Cat memes are so good. They are. And there's a lot of things that can go on in cat memes. It was something recommended by my manager to make memes of my own. She told me how she gets inspiration for her memes, and she decided to showcase me a few Twitter accounts for me to follow along just to make my day and take inspiration from. Like, I always wondered how people out there can meme themselves when they don't have a fan base to meme them. I mean, I'm pretty memeable. I mean, I am, but there are those that are part of, like, elites of a fan base that are just so dedicated to clipping them, like having their own clip channel to dedicate to a certain VTuber or VTubers at a time. It's really insane with the dedication that some fans have for the people they support. Like, I met this one person at Offkai last year, and they told me that the way they support Hazumi, like my Oshi, I went to a meet and greet of Hazumi. They say that they played her music on loop continuously, but then YouTube busted them. So what they did to like help promote her on the algorithm was just have a playlist be set on loop. Like, that's how you can get around to obsessively playing content over and over again to support somebody. So it wouldn't be like the days when people would just like have Jacksepticeye's videos on loop but then get busted for it. No, there are like smarter ways to do it. I used to have one clip channel, then I lost the account because I got banned because of one clip. Oh no. I mean, was it something with like copyright? Was it something you didn't get permission for? I've learned that for some clip channels, like if there were a clip channel dedicated to a certain, like, say, VTuber, you'd have to get permission or be pretty well connected. It's just something to play safe, because there have been those that would make clip channels just to promote their own content as a VTuber. That is something that I actually learned about, for where, you know, they cycle through the most popular VTubers, but then they sneak in their own clips to put into the channel, so as to say, hey, look at this underrated VTuber, looky, look, like a popular VTuber, look. I remember it was because the clip was, I see. Too lewd? Yeah, okay. Too lewd for YouTube, huh? Was it for hips that were showing, or was it just the booba like bouncing too hard? What happened? What happened? Talk to me. I'm curious to know like what made it seem too lewd. Was it something in VR chat? Was it like words that were spoken that YouTube don't like? Oh, really? What? For Well, damn, I hope if somebody clips me and made a clip channel dedicated to me, that anything clipped in this stream... Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like mouth noises too much. That's actually pretty common for YouTube to take the hammer and smite people with certain ASMR content. Oh. Yeah, that can most certainly do it, unfortunately. But to just lose your channel because of one clip? I mean, they would have given you a warning. That's pretty wild, like... I'm starting to question that. That's actually pretty insane. What? Wow. Well... I think it's time to get to reading, and I had to make sure, doubly make sure, and triple sure that this book to read is a-okay. So, I had a friend of mine suggest in a suggestions channel that I read the Goosebumps series. Now, I cannot read the latest Goosebumps books because they are not public domain, but the original ones, they are public domain. And I made sure to check in with my manager to be given the A-OK. And she said that, yeah, I can most certainly read these. It was that time when YouTube was more strict and the AI was giving problems. Oh, I see, I see. Alright then, so the book from the Goosebumps series is called Welcome to Dead House. And this was the first Goosebumps movie book that was ever released. It's 78 pages long. I think we'll be able to get through the entire book in a single sitting. We might. And remember, if anyone wishes to redeem any triggers like with wooden frog or paintbrushes, you guys absolutely can. You guys absolutely can. As we are here to relax, prepare for bed, and let me see if I can't get my brushies that fell down when I was having a coughing fit. Hang on. Come on. I'm gonna get you. Are my brushies okay? My brushies are okay. They are fallen soldiers, and I salute them for their service. But now I'm just picking up their corpses. Okay. So, I got all my ASMR props ready. So, okay. I hope you guys like Goosebumps. I enjoyed them as a kid. They were like the very few books that I've read as a child that I actually enjoyed when I thought reading was dumb. I'm gonna go work on a V-Roy texturing while hearing you then. Okay! Alright then. Let's get started, shall we? If it turns out this is not public domain, I'm going to be sad. 07 me. 07. I don't think I'll post this on YouTube at all, just to be safe. Okay. Josh and I hated our new house. Sure. It was big. It looked like a mansion compared to our old house. It was a tall red brick house with a sloping black roof and rows of windows framed by black shutters. It's so dark, I thought, studying it from the street. The whole house was covered in darkness as if it were hiding in the shadows of the gnarled old trees that bent over it. It was the middle of July, but dead brown leaves blanketed the front yard. Our sneakers crunched over them as we trudged up the gravel driveway. Tall weeds poked up everywhere through dead leaves. Thick clumps of weeds had completely overgrown an old flower bed beside the front porch. This house is creepy, I thought unhappily. Josh must have been thinking the same thing. Looking up at the old house, we both groaned loudly. Mr. Dawes, the friendly young man from the local real estate office, stopped near the front walk and turned around. "Everything okay?" he asked, staring first at Josh then at me, with his crinkly blue eyes. "Josh and Amanda aren't happy about moving," Dad explained, tucking his shirt tail in. Dad is a little overweight, and his shirts always seem to be coming untucked. "It's hard for kids," my mother added, smiling at Mr. Dawes, her hands shoved into her jeans pockets as she continued up at the front door. "You know, leaving all of their friends behind, moving to a strange new place, Strange is right, Josh said, shaking his head. This house is gross. Mr. Jaws chuckled. It's an old house, that's for sure, he said, patting Josh on the shoulder. It just needs some work, Josh, Dad said, smiling at Mr. Dawes. No one has lived in it for a while, so it will take some fixing up. Look how big it is, Mom added, smoothing back her straight black hair and smiling at Josh. We'll have room for a den and maybe a rec room. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Amanda? I shrugged. A cold breeze made me shiver. It was actually a beautiful hot summer day, but the closer we got to the house, the colder I felt. I guess it was because of all the tall old trees. I was wearing white tennis shoes and a sleeveless blue t-shirt. It had been hot in the car, but now I was freezing. Maybe it will be warmer in the house, I thought. How old are they? Mr. Dawes asked Mom, stepping onto the front porch. Amanda is 12, Mom answered, and Josh turned 11 last month. They look so much alike, Mr. Dawes told Mom. I couldn't decide if that was a compliment or not. I guess it's true. Josh and I are both tall and thin and have curly brown hair like Dad's, and dark brown eyes. Everyone says we have serious faces. I really want to go home, Josh said, his voice cracking. I hate this place. My brother is the most impatient kid in the world. And when he makes up his mind about something, that's it. He's a little spoiled. At least, I think so. Whenever he makes a big fuss about something, he usually gets his way. We may look alike, but we're really not that similar. I'm a lot more patient than Josh is, a lot more sensible. Probably because I'm older and because I'm a girl. Josh had hold of Dad's hand and was trying to pull him back to the car. Let's go. Come on, Dad, let's go. I knew this was one time Josh wouldn't get his way. We were moving to this house. No doubt about it. After all, the house was absolutely free. A great uncle of Dad's, a man we didn't even know, had died and left the house to Dad in his will. I'll never forget the look on Dad's face when he got the letter from the lawyer. He let out a loud whoop and began dancing around the living room. Josh and I thought he flipped or something. My great uncle Charles has left us a house in his will, Dad explained, reading and rereading the letter. It's in a town called Dark Falls. Huh? Josh and I cried. Where's Dark Falls? Dad shrugged. I don't remember your Uncle Charles, Mom said, moving behind Dad to read the letter over his shoulder. Neither do I, admitted Dad. But he must have been a great guy. Wow. This sounds like an incredible house. He grabbed Mom's hands and began dancing happily with her across the living room. Dad sure was excited. He'd been looking for an excuse to quit his boring office job and devote all of his time to his writing career. This house, absolutely free, would be just the excuse he needed. And now, a week later, here we were in Dark Falls, a 4-hour drive from our home. Seeing our new house for the first time, we hadn't even gone inside, and Josh was trying to drag Dad back to the car. Josh? Stop pulling me, Dad snapped impatiently, trying to tug his hand out of Josh's grasp. Dad glanced helplessly at Mr. Dawes. I could see that he was embarrassed by how Josh was carrying on. I decided maybe I could help. Let go, Josh, I said quietly, grabbing Josh by the shoulder. We promised we'd give Dark Falls a chance, remember? I already gave it a chance, Josh whined, not letting go of Dad's hand. The house is old and ugly, and I hate it. You haven't even gone inside, Dad said angrily. Yes, let's go in, Mr. Dawes urged, staring at Josh. I'm staying outside, Josh insisted. He could be really stubborn sometimes. I felt just as unhappy as Josh looking at this dark old house, but I'd never carry on the way Josh was. Josh? Don't you want to pick out your own room? Mom asked. No, Josh muttered. He and I both glanced up to the second floor. There were two large bay windows side by side up there. They looked like two dark eyes staring back at us. How long have you lived in your present house? Mr. Dawes asked Dad. Dad had to think for a second. About 14 years, he answered. The kids have lived there for their whole lives. Moving is always hard, Mr. Dawes said sympathetically, turning his gaze on me. You know, Amanda, I moved here to Dark Falls just a few months ago. I didn't like it much either at first, but now I wouldn't live anywhere else, he winked at me. He had a cute dimple in his chin when he smiled. Let's go inside. It's really quite nice, you'll be surprised. All of us followed Mr. Dawes, except Josh. Are there other kids on this block? Josh demanded. He made it sound more like a challenge than a question. Mr. Dawes nodded. The school's just 2 blocks away, he said, pointing up the street. See? Mom quickly cut in. A short walk to school. No more long bus rides every morning. I liked the bus, Josh insisted. His mind was made up. He wasn't going to give my parents a break, even though we both promised to be open-minded about this move. I don't know what Josh thought he had to gain by being such a pain. I mean, Dad already had plenty to worry about. For one thing, he hadn't been able to sell our old house yet. I didn't like the idea of moving, but I knew that inheriting this big house was a great opportunity for us. We were so cramped in our little house, and once Dad managed to sell the old place, we wouldn't have to worry all about the money anymore. Josh should at least give it a chance. That's what I thought. Suddenly, from our car at the foot of the driveway, we heard Petey barking and howling and making a fuss. Petey is our dog, a white, curly-haired terrier, cute as a button, and usually well-behaved. He never minded being left in the car, but now he was yowling and yapping at full volume and scratching at the car window, desperate to get out. Petey? Quiet! Quiet! I shouted. Petey usually listened to me, but not this time. I'm going to let him out, Josh declared, and took off down the driveway toward the car. No, wait, Dad called, but I don't think Josh could hear him over Petey's wails. Might as well let the dog explore, Mr. Dawes said. It's going to be his house, too. A few seconds later, Petey came charging across the lawn, kicking up brown leaves, yipping excitedly as he ran up to us. He jumped on all of us as if he hadn't seen us in weeks, and then, to our surprise, he started growling menacingly and barking at Mr. Dawes. Petey, stop, Mom yelled. He's never done this, Dad said apologetically. Really, he's usually very friendly. He probably smells something on me. Another dog, maybe, Mr. Dawes said, loosening his striped tie, looking warily at the growling dog. Finally, Josh grabbed Petey around the middle and lifted him away from Mr. Dawes. Stop it, Petey, Josh scolded, holding the dog up close to his face so that they were nose to nose. Mr. Dawes is our friend. Petey whimpered and licked Josh's face. After a short while, Josh set him back down on the ground. Petey looked up at Mr. Dawes, then at me, then decided to go sniffing around the yard. letting his nose lead the way. "Let's go inside," Mr. Dawes urged. Moving a hand through his short blonde hair, he unlocked the front door and pushed it open. Mr. Dawes held the screen door open for us. I started to follow my parents into the house. "I'll stay out here with Petey," Josh insisted from the walk. Dad started to protest, but changed his mind. "Okay, fine," he said, sighing and shaking his head. "I'm not going to argue with you. Don't come in. You can live outside if you want." He sounded really exasperated. "I want to stay with Petey," Josh said again, watching Petey nose his way through the dead flower bed. Mr. Dawes followed us into the hallway, gently closing the screen door behind him, giving Josh a final glance. "He'll be fine," he said softly, smiling at Mom. "He can be so stubborn sometimes," Mom said apologetically. She peeked into the living room. "I'm really sorry about Petey. I don't know what got into that dog." "No problem. Let's start in the living room," Mr. Dawes said, leading the way. "I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by how spacious it is. Of course, it needs work." He took us on a tour of every room in the house. I was beginning to get excited. The house was really kind of neat. There were so many rooms and so many closets. And my room was huge and it had its own bathroom and an old-fashioned window seat where I could sit at the window and look down at the street. I wish Josh had come inside with us. If he could see how great the house was inside, I knew he'd start to cheer up. I couldn't believe how many rooms there were. Even a finished attic filled with old furniture and stacks of old mysterious cartons we could explore. We must have been inside for at least half an hour. I didn't really keep track of the time. I think all three of us were feeling cheered up. "Well, I think I've shown you everything," Mr. Dawes said, glancing at his watch. He led the way to the front door. "Wait, I want to take one more look at my room," I told him excitedly. I started up the stairs, taking them two at a time. "I'll be down in a second." "Hurry, dear. I'm sure Mr. Dawes has other appointments," Mom called after me. I reached the second floor landing and hurried down the narrow hallway and into my new room. "Wow," I said out loud, and the word echoed faintly against the empty walls. It was so big, and I loved the bay window with the window seat. I walked over to it and peered out. Through the trees, I could see our car in the driveway and, beyond it, a house that looked a lot like ours across the street. "I'm going to put my bed against that wall across from the window," I thought happily. "And my desk can go over there. I'll have room for a computer now." I took one more look at my closet, a long walk-in closet with a light in the ceiling and wide shelves against the back wall. I was heading to the door, thinking about which of my posters I wanted to bring with me, when I saw the boy. He stood in the doorway for just a second, and then he turned around and disappeared down the hall. "Josh?" I cried. "Hey, come look!" With a shock, I realized it wasn't Josh. For one thing, the boy had blonde hair. "Hey!" I called, and ran to the hallway, stopping just outside my bedroom door, looking both ways. "Who's here?" But the long hall was empty. All of the doors were closed. "Whoa, Amanda," I said out loud. Was I seeing things? Mom and Dad were calling from downstairs. I took one last look down the dark corridor, then hurried to rejoin them. "Hey, Mr. Dawes?" I called as I ran down the stairs. "Is this house haunted?" He chuckled. The question seemed to strike him funny. "No, sorry," he said, looking at me with those crinkly blue eyes. "No ghosts included. A lot of old houses around here are said to be haunted, but I'm afraid this isn't one of them. I... I thought I saw something, I said, feeling a little foolish. Probably just shadows, Mom said. With all the trees, this house is so dark. Why don't you run outside and tell Josh about the house, Dad suggested, tucking in the front of his shirt. Your mom and I have some things to talk over with Mr. Dawes. Yes, Master, I said with a little bow, and immediately ran out to tell Josh all about what he had missed. Hey, Josh, I called, eagerly searching the yard. Josh? My heart sank. Josh and Petey were gone. Wait, I'm sorry, what, Strawberry? Wait, are you saying that I look dusty and mid too? Wait, what? And hi, Strawberry. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Welcome. I noticed that you are a first-time chatter. Please excuse my paintbrushes like falling down. Those are my trigger tools. It seems that having paintbrushes on my lap is not going to cut it, and I wish I had more room on my desk. Okay, let me try doing this. Will this work? Okay, that's going to work. But hi, how'd you discover my stream? I would love to know what brings you here. Hello. Okay, on chapter 2 of this Goosebumps book. Here we go. Josh? Josh! And I could still read chat, by the way, so feel free to talk in chat. First, I called Josh. Then I called Petey. But there was no sign of either of them. I ran down to the bottom of the driveway and peered into the car. But they weren't there. Mom and Dad were still inside talking with Mr. Dawes. I looked along the street in both directions, but there was no sign of them. Josh? Hey, Josh? Finally, Mom and Dad came hurrying out the front door, looking alarmed. I guess they heard my shouts. I can't find Josh or Petey, I yelled up to them from the street. Maybe they're around back, Dad shouted down to me. I headed up the driveway, kicking away dead leaves as I ran. It was sunny down the street, but as soon as I entered our yard, I was back in the shade, and it was immediately cool again. Hey, Josh? Josh, where are you? Why did I feel so scared? It was perfectly natural for Josh to wander off. He did it all the time. I ran full speed along the side of the house. Tall trees leaned over the house on the side, blocking out nearly all of the sunlight. The backyard was bigger than I expected, a long rectangle that sloped gradually down to a wooden fence at the back. Just like the front, this yard was a mass of tall weeds, poking up through a thick covering of brown leaves. A stone bird bath had toppled onto its side. Beyond it, I could see the side of the garage, a dark brick building that matched the house. Hey, Josh? He wasn't back here. I stopped and searched the ground for footprints, or a sign that he had run through the thick leaves. Well, out of breath, Dad came jogging up to me. No sign of him, I said, surprised at how worried I felt. Did you check the car? He sounded more angry than worried. Yes, it's the first place I looked. I gave the backyard a last quick search. I don't believe Josh would just take off. I do, Dad said, rolling his eyes. You know your brother when he doesn't get his way. Maybe he wants us to think he's run away from home, he frowned. Where is he? Mom asked as we returned to the front of the house. Dad and I both shrugged. Maybe he made a friend and wandered off, Dad said. He raised a hand and scratched his curly brown hair. I could tell that he was starting to worry too. We've got to find him, Mom said, gazing down to the street. He doesn't know this neighborhood at all. He probably wandered off and got lost. Mr. Dawes locked the front door and stepped down off the porch, pocketed the keys. He couldn't have gotten far, he said, giving Mom a reassuring smile. Let's drive around the block. I'm sure we'll find him. Mom shook her head and glanced nervously at Dad. I'll kill him, she muttered. Dad patted her on the shoulder. Mr. Dawes opened the trunk of the small Honda, pulled off his dark blazer, and tossed it inside. Then he took out a wide-brimmed black cowboy hat and put it on his head. Hey, that's quite a hat, Dad said, climbing into the front passenger seat. Keeps the sun away, Mr. Dawes said, sliding behind the wheel and slamming the car door. Mom and I got him back, glancing over at her. I saw that Mom was as worried as I was. We headed down the block in silence, all four of us staring out the car windows. The houses we passed all seemed old. Most of them were even bigger than our house. All of them seemed to be in better condition, nicely painted with neat, well-trimmed lawns. I didn't see any people in the houses or yards, and there was no one on the street. It certainly is a quiet neighborhood, I thought, and shady. The houses all seemed to be surrounded by tall, leafy trees. The front yards we drove slowly past all seemed to be bathed in shade. The street was the only sunny place, a narrow gold ribbon that ran through the shadows on both sides. Maybe that's why it's called Dark Falls, I thought. Where is that son of mine? Dad asked, staring hard out the windshield. I'll kill him. I really will, Mom muttered. It wasn't the first time she had said that about Josh. We had gone around the block twice. No sign of him. Mr. Dawes suggested we drive around the next few blocks, and Dad quickly agreed. Hope I don't get lost. I'm new here too, Mr. Dawes said. Turning a corner, hey, there's the school, he announced, pointing out the window at a tall red brick building. It looked very old-fashioned with white columns on both sides of the double front doors. Of course, it's closed now, Mr. Dawes added. My eyes searched the fenced-in playground behind the school. It was empty, no one there. Could Josh have walked this far? Mom asked, her voice tight and higher than usual. Josh doesn't walk, Dad said, rolling his eyes. He runs. We'll find him, Mr. Dawes said confidently, tapping his fingers on the wheel as he steered. We turned a corner onto another shady block. A street sign read Cemetery Drive, and sure enough, a large cemetery rose up in front of us. Granite gravestones rolling along a low hill, which sloped down and then up again onto a large flat stretch, also marked with rows of low grave markers and monuments. A few shrubs dotted the cemetery, but there weren't many trees. As we drove slowly past, the gravestones passing by in a blur on the left, I realized that this was the sunniest spot I had seen in the whole town. There's your son, Mr. Dawes, pointing out the window, stopped the car suddenly. Oh, thank goodness, Mom explained, leaning down to see out the window on my side of the car. Sure enough, there was Josh, running wildly along a crooked row of low white gravestones. What's he doing here? I asked, pushing open my car door. I stepped down from the car, took a few steps onto the grass, and called to him. At first, he didn't react to my shouts. He seemed to be ducking and dodging through the tombstones. He would run in one direction, then cut to the side, then head in another direction. Why was he doing that? It took another few steps, and then stopped, gripped with fear. I suddenly realized why Josh was darting and ducking like that, running so wildly through the tombstones. He was being chased. Someone, or something, was after him. I might mute because my coughing is starting to come up. It might. I had to take that water. I can't wait until my tea comes by that, thanks to Steve, ordered off of Throne. I'm really, really excited to try out the tea. I'm okay. I'll let you guys know if I need to cut the stream early. I'll let you know. I just wanted to at least get through a few chapters. Okay. Then, excuse me. Oh, thank you, Mini Me. I'll hydrate again. Ah, thank you. Then, as I took a few reluctant steps toward Josh, watching him bend low, then change directions, his arms outstretched as he ran, I realized I had it completely backward. Josh wasn't being chased. Josh was chasing. He was chasing after Petey. Okay. So sometimes my imagination runs away with me. Running through an old graveyard like this, even in bright daylight, it's only natural that a person might start to have weird thoughts. I called to Josh again, and this time he heard me and turned around. He looked worried. "Amanda, come help me," he cried. "Josh, what's the matter?" I ran as fast as I could to catch up with him, but he kept darting through the gravestones, moving from row to row. "Help! Josh, what's wrong?" I turned and saw that Mom and Dad were right behind me. "It's Petey," Josh explained, out of breath. "I can't get him to stop. I caught him once, but he pulled away from me." "Petey? Petey?" Dad started calling the dog, but Petey was moving from stone to stone, sniffing each one, then running to the next. "How did you get all the way over here?" Dad asked as he caught up with my brother. "I had to follow Petey," Josh explained, still looking very worried. "He just took off." 1 second, he was sniffing around the dead flower bed in our front yard. The next second, he just started to run. He wouldn't stop when I called, wouldn't even look back. He kept running till he got here. I had to follow. I was afraid he'd get lost. Josh stopped and gratefully let Dad take over the chase. "I don't know what that dumb dog's problem is," he said to me. "He's just weird." It took Dad a few tries, but he finally managed to grab Petey and pick him up off the ground. Our little terrier gave a half-hearted yelp of protest, then allowed himself to be carried away. We all trooped back to the car on the side of the road. Mr. Dawes was waiting by the car. "Maybe you better get a leash for that dog," he said, looking very concerned. "Petey's never been on a leash," Josh protested, wearily climbing into the back seat. "Well, we might have to try one for a while," Dad said quietly. "Especially if he keeps running away." Dad tossed Petey into the back seat. The dog eagerly curled up in Josh's arms. The rest of us piled into the car, and Mr. Dawes drove us back to his office, a tiny white, flat-roof building at the end of a row of small offices. As we rode, I reached over and stroked the back of Petey's head. Why did the dog run away like that, I wondered. Petey had never done that before. I guess that Petey was also upset about our moving. After all, Petey had spent his whole life in our old house. He probably felt a lot like Josh and I did about having to pack up and move and never see the old neighborhood again. The new house, the new trees, and all the new smells must have freaked the poor dog out. Josh wanted to run away from the whole idea, and so did Petey. Anyway, that was my theory. Mr. Dawes parked the car in front of his tiny office, shook Dad's hand, and gave him a business card. "You can come by next week," he told Mom and Dad. "I'll have all the legal work done by then. After you sign the papers, you can move in anytime. He pushed open the car door and, giving us all a final smile, prepared to climb out. Compton Dawes, Mom said, reading the white business card over Dad's shoulder. That's an unusual name. Is Compton an old family name? Mr. Dawes shook his head. No, he said. I'm the only Compton in my family. I have no idea where the name comes from, no idea at all. Maybe my parents didn't know how to spell Charlie. Chuckling at his terrible joke, he climbed out of the car, lowered the wide black Stetson hat on his head, pulled his blazer from the trunk, and disappeared into the small white building. Dad climbed the wheel, moving the seat back to make room for his big stomach. Mom got up front, and we started the long drive home. I guess you and Petey had quite an adventure today, Mom said to Josh, rolling up her window because Dad had turned on the air conditioner. I guess, Josh said without enthusiasm. Petey was sound asleep in his lap, snoring quietly. You're going to love your room, I told Josh. The whole house is great, really. Josh stared at me thoughtfully, but didn't answer. I poked him in the ribs with my elbow. Say something. Did you hear what I said? But the weird, thoughtful look didn't fade from Josh's face. The next couple of weeks seemed to crawl by. I walked around the house thinking about how I'd never see my room again, how I'd never eat breakfast in his kitchen again, how I'd never watch TV in the living room again. Morbid stuff like that. I had this sick feeling when the movers came one afternoon and delivered a tall stack of cartons. Time to pack up. It was really happening. Even though it was the middle of the afternoon, I went up to my room and flopped down on my bed. I didn't nap or anything. I just stared at the ceiling for more than an hour. And all these wild, unconnected thoughts ran through my head like a dream. Only, I was awake. I wasn't the only one who was nervous about the move. Mom and Dad were snapping at each other over nothing at all. One morning they had a big fight over whether the bacon was too crispy or not. In a way, it was funny to see them being so childish. Josh was acting really sullen all the time. He hardly spoke a word to anyone, and Petey sulked too. That dumb dog wouldn't even pick himself up and come over to me when I had some table scraps for him. I guess the hardest part about moving was saying goodbye to my friends. Carol and Amy were away at camp, so I had to write to them. But Kathy was home, and she was my oldest and best friend, and the hardest to say goodbye to. I think some people were surprised that Kathy and I had stayed such good friends. For one thing, we look so different. I'm tall and thin and dark, and she's fair-skinned with long blonde hair and a little chubby. But we've been friends since preschool, and best friends since 4th grade. When she came over the night before the move, we were both terribly awkward. Kathy, you shouldn't be nervous, I told her. You're not the one who's moving away forever. It's not like you're moving to China or something, she answered, chewing hard on her bubble gum. Dark Falls is only 4 hours away, Amanda. We'll see each other a lot. Yeah, I guess, I said, but I didn't believe it. 4 hours away was as bad as being in China, as far as I was concerned. I guess we could still talk on the phone, I said glumly. She blew a small green bubble, then sucked it back into her mouth. Yeah, sure, she said, pretending to be enthusiastic. You're lucky, you know, moving out of this crummy neighborhood to a big house. It's not a crummy neighborhood, I insisted. I don't know why I was defending the neighborhood. I never had before. One of our favorite pastimes was thinking of places we'd rather be growing up. School won't be the same without you, she sighed, curling her legs under her on the chair. Who's going to slip me the answers in math? I laughed. I always slipped you the wrong answers. But it was the thought that counted, Kathy said. And then she groaned, junior high. Is your new junior high part of the high school or part of the elementary school? I made a disgusted face. Everything's in one building. It's a small town, remember? There's no separate high school, at least. I didn't see one. Bummer, she said. Bummer was right. We chatted for hours, until Kathy's mom called and said it was time for her to come home. Then we hugged. I made up my mind that I wouldn't cry, but I could feel the big hot tears forming in the corners of my eyes, and then they were running down my cheeks. I'm so miserable, I wailed. I had planned to be really controlled and mature, but Kathy was my best friend after all, and what could I do? We made a promise that we'd always be together on our birthdays, no matter what. We forced our parents to make sure we didn't miss each other's birthdays. And then we hugged again, and Kathy said, "Don't worry, we'll see each other a lot, really." And she had tears in her eyes too. She turned and ran out the door. The screen door slammed hard behind her. I stood there staring out into the darkness until Petey came scampering in, his toenails clicking across the linoleum, and started to lick my hand. This is romantically sad, I don't care. I know. It's really hard for the besties to be separated like this. I think so, but thanks for checking up on me. I might end the stream earlier than expected. I might. And I think I may need to text my doctor about prescribed medication for my coughs. I might need to do that. The next morning, moving day, was a rainy Saturday. Not a downpour, no thunder or lightning, but just enough rain and wind to make the long drive slow and unpleasant. The sky seemed to get darker as we neared the new neighborhood. The heavy trees bent low over the street. "Slow down, Jack," Mom warned shrilly. "The street is literally slick." But Dad was in a hurry to get to the house before the moving van did. "They'll just put the stuff anywhere if we're not there to supervise," he explained. Classic dads, am I right? Josh, beside me in the back seat, was being a real pain as usual. He kept complaining that he was thirsty. When that didn't get results, he started whining that he was starving. But we had all had a big breakfast, so that didn't get any reaction either. He just wanted attention, of course. I kept trying to cheer him up by telling him how great the house was inside and how big his room was. He still hadn't seen it, but he didn't want to be cheered up. He started wrestling with Petey, getting the poor dog all worked up, until Dad had to shout at him to stop. "Let's all try really hard not to get on each other's nerves," Mom suggested. Dad laughed. "Good idea, dear." "Don't make fun of me," she snapped. They started to argue about who was more exhausted from all the packing. Petey stood up on his hind legs and started to howl at the back window. "Can't you shut him up?" Mom screamed. I pulled Petey down, but he struggled back up and started howling again. "He's never done this before," I said. "Just get him quiet," Mom insisted. I pulled Petey down by his hind legs, and Josh started to howl. Mom turned around and gave him a dirty look. Josh didn't stop howling, though. He thought he was a riot. Finally, Dad pulled the car up the driveway of the new house. The tires crunched over the wet gravel. Rain pounded on the new roof. "Home sweet home," Mom said. I couldn't tell if she was being sarcastic or not. I think she was really glad the long car ride was over. At least we beat the movers, Dad said, glancing at his watch. Then his expression changed. Hope they're not lost. It's as dark as night out there, Josh complained. Petey was jumping up and down in my lap, desperate to get out of the car. He was usually a good traveler, but once the car stopped, he wanted out immediately. I opened my car door and he leaped onto the driveway with a splash and started to run in a wild zigzag across the front yard. At least someone's glad to be here, Josh said quietly. Dad ran up to the porch and, fumbling with the unfamiliar keys, managed to get the front door open. Then he motioned for us to come into the house. Mom and Josh ran across the walk, eager to get in and out of the rain. I closed the car door behind me and started to jog after them. But something caught my eye. I stopped and looked up to the twin bay windows above the porch. I held a hand over my eyebrows to shield my eyes and squinted through the rain. Yes. I saw it. A face. And the window on the left. The boy. The same boy who was up there, staring down at me. How am I feeling wise? Let's see. So, I haven't gotten this quiet of tone in a long time. It feels pretty weird on my throat, but I think that's also because I'm just trying not to like get into a coughing fit. Oh. Yeah, I should probably get some medicine for my coughs, because I feel like if I were to let this be, it wouldn't go down like I would like it to. I wonder if I can book an appointment, like, maybe a couple days from now. Maybe. But yeah, I'll... Alright, so we are at chapter 4. That's where we're at, page 20. I think I can remember this, but I'll bookmark just in case. Oh my god. Yeah, I definitely need to schedule an appointment to get rid of these coughs. I mean, better than how I was before, yes, but I would much prefer if these coughs get managed. And the cough drops can only help out so much. It's only when they're in my mouth would they just stop. So, who is live for me to raid into right now? Who do we have? Nafi's live with her birthday stream. There's Smitten Seraph. Who else? Oh, Luca is live. I haven't rated Luca in a long while. Yeah, I think she said that she was like busy for a time. Okay, that makes sense. But there is another ASMR artist that I'm following that's live right now. But I don't know them. They're not my friend. They're a streamer that I tune. Wait. I could raid into Snowy. Wait, I should totally raid into my bestie. I haven't raided my bestie in a long time. Yeah, I probably should, but let me just scroll through. Oh, Midnight's live too. But so far, I'm leaning towards my bestie. Milo? Milo? Do I know Milo? But I decided that I'm gonna be raiding into Snowy. Any chance, any opportunity I can get with Snowy, I'm taking it. So I hope everyone has copied the raid message as we're gonna go ahead and raid into Snowy. Like, thank you all so much for partaking in watching me do ASMR. Oh god, my coughs. I'm really, really afraid with like how my singing will go, but I just really, really hope that I get the medicine soon enough. So, thank you guys so much, and I'm really glad that you guys have been enjoying the stream so far. I'm really glad. Alright, let's say hello to the bestie. Yeah, she was right.